Hi, Jeff from Joker Machine. What we have here is our new forward control extension kit for the Indian Scout Bobber. Everything you need is in this package right here. We provide high quality stainless steel hardware, a shift link rod, and the two mounting plates. This approximately moves your controls about 2.5 inches forward. We did make these out of steel. Most of the stuff we do is aluminum, but we chose steel because we could make it thinner and have a little bit more integral strength in it. So this is the kit right here. One of the first things you should do is remove the shift link rod, and we provide a aluminum rod here called billet, and you're going to remove the OEM heim joints, install them on this rod. Pretty simple process. The OEM heim joints, they have a line in them right here, and that determines that this is a reverse thread or left-handed thread, I don't know. And we include the same line in our rods. So the heim joint with a slit in it will go on the end of the rod with a slit in it, and pretty easy to get together, and that should be about it for the rod right now. Things like the tools that are required are pretty simple. We have a M10 wrench, a ratchet, an extension with an M8 socket on it, a 17mm wrench, and a 6 and an 8 Allen wrench. We were able to take the stock ones off without having any special tools, so everything seemed pretty simple at the time. Okay, as you can see, the OEM controls have been removed. Put the master cylinder up on a bucket here just to keep the MC cap facing upwards. About the only thing you may have to do is loosen this clamp right here and extract a little bit more brake line. There's quite a bit of brake line at the back of the bike. And if you follow it backwards, again, we were able to use the stock brake line, and we found that there was plenty of line to be pulled forward. This is not a California model, so we don't have a charcoal can back there. I don't even know if they put them on all the bikes now. Anyway, it's a pretty simple setup here. If you look at most of this here, one of your OEM bolts is up underneath right here. The other one's in the front, pretty easy to see. It's really a pretty easy process after you take the stock ones off. This is our plate. This has been on the bike already, so a couple of marks on it, but no big deal. So probably the easiest way to do it is just take the back bolt, put it up against here, get it started. And there's also a small bolt sticking out from the frame that you won't have to touch. Get this started. You can take it up quite a bit, actually. And then it'll stay in a pretty good position for you. So you can kind of tighten this up pretty good to start with. Let it sit on here, and then you can go ahead and get the forward controls positioned. Again, the one bolt, the secondary bolt, goes in right here. Push it through. Get it started. And again, no special tools are really required here. Just a little patience and a little bit of wiggling here and there, and it should go. Finding the cap screws a little bit of a hassle. So basically, this thing's most of the way on. Then with the hardware we provide, you'll take the button head we provide. It will go into the front mount and through the thing, and this thing's basically on. You know, it's just a matter of me tightening it up. We provide all the necessary hardware, and again, it is stainless steel, so it looks pretty good when it goes on there. You could certainly polish it if you were inclined to. Put the washer on. Get this started. You want everything loose when you're doing this. Don't tighten anything up until you've got everything started, and should work out pretty good for you. So again, these are basically on. It's just a matter of me tightening them up. I don't know if there's any sequence of how you should do it. I'm going to start in the middle here and hopefully make this happen. Again, finding the bolt head on that one particular one. I'm just going to take this up until everything's kind of sitting flat in there. And it's just got a little tension on it. It's still loose. Then we're going to come underneath, tighten up the back mount. And other than the, you need to have a little bit of a swivel on the socket here to get this to go in nice and easy. But you don't need to worry about tightening it too much. As long as you can drive it all the way up, everything should work out fine. So that's all the way up. Again, I'm going to come back. I do need to get a 6mm wrench here. So now that I got my 6mm wrench, we can proceed forward. I'm just going to put it in here and kind of make this as simple as possible. Again, it's just a matter of taking everything up. And it's best if you use an Allen wrench, the 8mm, and come back and tighten this screw, or pardon me, bolt. That's tight. Also, I would highly recommend that you put Loctite, blue Loctite, on all this stuff. Take your ratchet so you can put some torque on this bolt. And basically that's completely done. You may look over here where I told you that little clamp was for the hose. Once you get it all situated, I could just leave it hanging, but I did have to move the hose up through the clamp, and it's worked out just fine. This side's all ready to go. It definitely gets the controls out there a few more inches. Makes the ride so much more convenient. And I'm not a tall guy, but this bike was just a little bit too tight for me. And at 5'11", this is a nice modification. As you can see, we've moved to the other side, the shifter side of the bike. And this is that bolt I was talking to you about. It just stays where it's at, and it helps get this located really simply. You're basically going to just put this plate on, and let's see if I know what I'm doing. We're going to take the OEM bolt, put it on, and take this, might as well take this up most of the way since it's not really interfering with anything. As you can see, after I tighten this up, this bolt right here is a pretty good locator. I'm really close, so it's just a matter of me adjusting this slightly to make this complete. So we'll move forward. Just between doing the other side and this side, I did find out it's kind of better if you put that next bolt in while you can actually see where it goes, because otherwise it's kind of a blind bolt to chase. Please, again, make sure you use blue Loctite on this stuff. It just makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, that definitely made it easier to preset the wrench. So I'm just going to take this up a little bit, and where it's getting kind of close. Okay, now we're close. I'm just going to remove this wrench, hopefully. And I'm going to take the bolt that we provide, put it through the front hole, install the washer. There's not a lot of room here. That's why you really don't want to tighten anything up. I've already put the Loctite on it. Push the bolt back, get this one started. And again, the job's just about done right now. It's not hard at all. I'm going to need the 6mm Allen wrench and the 17 for the front. And again, can't emphasize that we looked at all different bolts and stuff, and really these button heads, these stainless ones, seem to be the tidiest of them all. So do the final tightening on this. Again, finding this hole If you set up your socket ahead of time, it's a lot easier. May have to hold the pedal out of the way a little bit to get a straight shot at this. Makes it a little bit easier. Tighten that up. And now all we have to do is install the rod. Really nothing to it. That again takes the OEM hardware. There is a couple of washers in here that actually make a little bit of difference. So I'm going to show you the placement of those in just one moment. Like I was talking about, here's the OEM front bolt for this. Then I'm going to put this stainless steel, I'm using it as a shim, washer right here. And what that allows it to do, I'm going to push it over that way a little bit, and I'm going to take the back one and push it over that way. It gives you a straighter shift rod and a little bit better action. I'm installing the front bolt right now. And again, I have the shim sitting up against the back side of this right here, so it's pushing the rod over just a little bit. Just trying to correct the geometry a little bit. The one good thing about these being made out of steel is we were able to keep everything in close and yet be really strong. And I've seen some other kits, and they kind of push the pegs out this way, and it just makes the bike wider down here, and I guess somebody might like that, but I like to keep it in close and tidy. On the rear one, it's again pretty simple. I'm not using the OEM bolt on this one because I didn't feel like it. I'm going to put the shim here again, and this will be pushing the rod out a little bit too. And again, just a little bit better geometry on it. Make sure you put blue Loctite on all these screws too. It's pretty important. There would be nothing wrong with using the OEM screw. I just wanted to use a button head. Matter of tightening this one all the way up. It's not hard at all. In fact, it's tight enough right now. Adjust your shift rod, watching this area here. If you like the gap that your stock stuff has, you'll want to just turn this until you get it in about the same place. This one's opened up a little bit more because this gets ridden a lot with work boots on, so there's a little extra room here. That's about it. You should have no trouble after everything's adjusted. You do want to take a little bit of time when you're tightening up the jam nuts. You don't want to get all crazy on them and stuff. This is an aluminum rod. This is a steel jam nut. And once it's up against this piece here, you can easily manipulate this and tighten this down. You just don't want to get crazy tight. But you also don't want it vibrating loose, so got to use your head on that one. Thanks. Hope you like the product.